All right, and welcome back. JT here. I'm back in the record room and I have a bunch of records to show you. These are all going to be from my vinyl finds from the month of August. Two record stores, Recycled Records in Midtown Reno, Nevada, and David's store, Discology, right on the Truckee River, right at the start of downtown Reno, Nevada. So I'm just going to jump right in and get started because I have a bunch of records. These, again, are all from August. So I thought it'd be a real good idea to just show them together. And first off, John Renbourn bought this at Recycled Records. And the other thing, I didn't pay much more than $10 or $12 for any of these records. A lot of them were $5 or $8. This is a comp with the great John Renbourn. His recordings, of course, he did a lot of work with Bert Jansch. He was in Pentangle. You know, Pentangle formed in the UK in 1967. Love John Renbourn so much. He does covers of John Henry here, Louisiana Blues. Of course, Muddy Waters wrote that. Noah and Rabbit is Bert Jansch and John. One for William. This is just really great. And I only have one other John Renbourn album on vinyl, and I want to show you the this is on reprise, or it should be. So it just plays great to have all that John Renbourn music on two records. It's just great. I'm a big fan of John Fahey, Leo Kottke, Bert Jansch, John Renbourn, John Martin, Nick Drake, all that guitar stuff. And I want to show you this. This here, a lot of you are going to know, this little coupon, you sent $2 in. And when I was 14 in 1971, I sent $2 in, and my very first Warner Reprise comp was The Big Ball. And that's where I discovered the Grateful Dead. Yes, I did. In 1971, Turn On Your Love Light. Love Light is on there with Rod McKernan wailing away on that song. Probably from an outtake from Live Dead. So, I love those comps. And a year ago, I found 10 of those in mint condition at a thrift store. The lady said, "Oh, I have a box of records in the back. Would you like to see them?" Right? And you get that, you get the goosebumps. And there were all these Warner Reprise comps records just in great shape. So I have about 11 of those. I believe I have all of these. Now my next record is, this is an artist from Houston, Texas. These guys were in the New Christy Minstrels, or at least a couple of them were, and this is Kenny Rogers in the first edition. Reuben James is on this one, and Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town. And I'd love to have the debut of the first edition. I don't have it. I will be getting that someday, maybe by next year. I really want to have that, with what my condition, what condition my condition's in, rather. So this is a good one to have, and this is just on reprise as well. It's on the older Showboat reprise. Very careful with that, in great condition. And my next album is Greg Kihn. I love that artwork on here. The Vincent van Gogh knockoff with a portrait of Greg. And this one is his third album from 1979, and he would have been pushing about 30 years old by the time he made this record. All of his records are just so good. And let me show you the tracks here. Well, there's the band. And this is, he did a lot of his records on Berkeley Records. And if you know Berkeley like we know Berkeley, yeah, you can call it Berkeley. So nice to have that Greg Kihn. I had never had that on vinyl. And then at Recycled Records, there was this. This is Big Audio Dynamite. And this was $12. And I'll easily buy this. Of course, I had this on CD. But anything Joe Strummer, Mick Jones solo, oh, I'm going to get it. Very, very pleased with this one. And of course, there are two big hits here. And this is just on a red Columbia. So there's the band. Next up are a band from Los Angeles. Some might think they were from Boston. No, they're an LA band. That's the Standells. And this is a Reno reissue. And very interesting. Ed Cobb wrote Dirty Water. And then he wrote Tainted Love for Mark Allman from Soft Cell. So, yeah, I do find that kind of interesting. And he was, Ed Cobb was in a band before. He managed the Standells. And he had come out of a band, you know, songwriting, performing. So here's the songs for Standells. And look at this hype on here. Really great. Barracuda's on here. Try It, Medication. Can't Help But Love You, All Fall Down, Animal Girl, Mr. Nobody, Mainline, Have You Ever Spent the Night in Jail? And this has got to be all analog, and it's in a really nice Rhino sleeve. And it has a whole list of Rhino recordings. I'd love to have some of these. And this, again, it says this is from the original tapes, so it should be analog. And that's what I love about buying used records and thrifting. Generally, you know, it's nothing but analog music. And, you know, there's all that discussion about that. Well, I just do it the easy way, and I thrift, and I'm patient, and I find records with patience, and you get these beautiful analog records, and you can clean them or whatever. I mean, I get a lot of records that are so clean, I just needle drop them because they're just clean. But I spend a lot of time, you know, I really do, driving around, just around town. But look at Tuco, you know, the vinyl hunter. I mean, he really hits the bricks really hard too. My next record is Bob Dylan's Saved. And this is from 1980. I'm really glad to have this. And the track Saved is just a great gospel song. And, you know, I never had this. I always skimmed over this one. Could have bought it before. But it's time. And I really want to pick up a bunch of Dylan albums that I never had. Empire Burlesque is one. There's two really nice tracks on this one. But I'm really glad to have Saved. And this was recorded at Muscle Shoals in Alabama, and there's the tracks. And next up, here's an artist from Texas, and this is, you know, just a few good players are on this album, like John McLaughlin, Chick Corea, Billy Cobham on drums, and that's Spaces by Larry Coryell. And this is from 1970, and Larry Coryell has done so many great recordings. Just, it's endless, so many. And Larry Coryell had replaced Gabor Szabo in the Chico Hamilton quartet in the mid-60s. And then he started, he went solo. So yeah, this is the third record by Larry Coryell. Love having this. This is on Vanguard. And I'll show you the really nice inner sleeve here. I'm not getting rid of that. And I'll show you the wax. And no, this is not a Joan Baez record. Yeah, okay. I just, you know, on vinyl I have about 2 or 3 Larry Coryell records, and that's it. A bunch on CD. Now this was all of $3 at Recycled Records. And this is the Jimmy Rogers Story sung by Hank Snow. And I'm loving this. And I wish I would have found this record for my train video that I did a couple weeks ago. TB Blues, Gamblin' Polka Dot Blues, Hobo Bill's Last Ride, Nobody Knows But Me, Pistol Packin' Papa, In the Jailhouse Now. I think that was on Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I believe so. Yeah, that was one of the Soggy Bottom Boys, you know, covered In the Jailhouse Now. old Jimmy Rogers tune. So here are the tunes, and this is on a RCA Dynaflex. And I was really pleased to see this. This is Tower Power. You know, these guys formed in '68 in Oakland, California. Bill Graham loved these guys. And, you know, this is a good record. It's not as good as their first 5, nowhere near. But when I see Tower Power that I don't have, I just buy it, especially this clean. This is just mint. I mean, Bruce Conti on guitar, Lenny Pickett, Chester Thompson, Steve Kupka, Emilio Castillo. There's the band. Love T.O.P. We came to play. And next up is a band, Hawaiian band from Oahu, from Hawaii. And interesting, they're really known for their horn section. And their horn section, some of the players, they heavily influenced Earth, Wind, and Fire, George Benson horns, when he had horns on the records. And they did work with Michael Jackson, and that's the horn section from Seawind. And these guys are jazz, funk, soul, rock. And I really love this genre. Hawaiian music, Kalapana, Seawind. This is CTI, guys. This is a nice record, and this wasn't very pricey at all. I think I paid $8 for this. And look at that nice CTI jacket. And the CTI vinyl, this plays wonderfully. Great sonics, quiet. Really pleased. I want to get, that's my only Seawind on vinyl. I want to get 1 or 2 more, definitely. And, you know, a lot of guys are into early Bob James, and this is the 3rd Bob James with Grover Washington Jr. Storm King, the opening track, is just really great. A very, very nice listen. And also on CTI, I won't take this out of the sleeve, but these are my sleeves. I really enjoy these. They're easy to get in and out of, and I like to seal them because if water ever came this way or this way, you know, there goes your record. So it's completely sealed. I like that, and I like the glossy look. And next up, I like those lounge lizards. I really do. Here's another Buddy Greco album. And what I like about this is from Live at the Flamingo in the lounge. And when I was a kid, I would walk by the lounge at the old Flamingo, the one that Bugsy Siegel, Ben Siegel built. It would still look the same in the late 60s, 67, 68. I was 10, 11, 12 years old, 69. And I would see Buddy Greco in the lounge, and I would just stop and just marvel at how dynamic the music was. I mean, he just swung hard. It was like rock. I mean, really. I mean, what a singer. He was one of Sinatra's very favorite singers. So anything with Las Vegas, like Tom Jones at the Flamingo Live from Las Vegas, I love those records, and I collect those as well. And then I found a Beau Brummels at Recycled Records. And, you know, there's so much more of a band than Laugh Laugh and Just a Little. You have You Tell Me Why, Don't Talk to Strangers, In Good Times, Sad Little Girl, Still in Love with You, Baby, Magic Hollow, Are You Happy, Deep Water, Turn Around, Lower Level, Here We Are Again, and Fine With Me, and Sal Valentino. Just a wonderful band formed in 1964 in San Francisco. You know, and this band, you know, predated Big Brother, all the bands, Quicksilver, all those bands. These guys were from 64, really Beatles era. And this is on Reno. And so I would imagine this is analog as well from the original analog tapes. Now, here's a record. I've had the jacket for about, seriously, 15 years. And I always wanted to find a nice clean copy of Wings Wildlife, and I finally got it. This one was $12. This is a 1971 LA press. I love Love is Strange is on here. Really, really do. And so this is the thing about record collecting. If you're just patient, you're probably going to run into a record. So what I like to do is just, you know, buy them as I see them. Whatever interests me, I'll get it. And if I, you know, my want list, it's just going to have to wait, because this is what happened. So I finally found a Wings Wildlife. It's probably a second press. Well, whatever. And I went ahead and bought the half-speed master. And then a month later, I find that, you know, and that's okay, because I do have some doubles, not a lot, but a few. Now, from Discology, David's store, right on the Truckee River, I found a very, very clean undercover. I'd never had this. And look at this, all the hype stickers are on the outside. Not a photo of the cover. So this is a good one to have. And I'll show you the hype here. And the hype's there. Oh, and how about that hype? Anyway, I'm trying to get more Rolling Stones records. I'm missing Beggar's Banquet. Can you believe it? Now, next, Michael Bloomfield, Barry Goldberg out of Electric Flag. This is a super group. Carmen Appice, Rick Gretsch, Ray Kennedy, and that's KGB. And this is a nice album. They do a great cover of I've Got a Feeling on here. And I'll show you. There's I Got a Feeling. And this is just a good record. This was not expensive at all. So all of these records, you know, I just didn't spend much more than $10 or $12. Actually, the last one, guys, Remember the Future Nectar, I think I did pay up for this maybe $15, 12 or 15. I really like David's store. I'm going back. If you're in Reno, check out Discology right on the Truckee River. Well, that's about it. Hey, thanks for watching. I'll show you the gatefold on here, and I'll see you on Monday. I delayed my Thrift Store Finds Monday. I'll be doing it next Monday. All right. See ya.